Yeah. So spiritual awakening is another word for it, is spiritual ascension. Yeah. And it's a natural evolutionary process which evolves when the process evolves when you're shedding the old self, yeah, and experiencing an inner rebirth. So that's really what a spiritual awakening is all about. So many people speak about spiritual awakening in terms of being upgraded, uprooted, being elevated in a vibrational frequency. So your vibration. It's just like when you're manifesting and things like that. And if you're in a low vibration, you won't manifest. You won't manifest. It will be shit. Yeah, it won't be good stuff. It'll be the bad stuff. Whereas your frequency goes up, you tend to find that you'll manifest rapidly. Yeah, I always say you've got to be careful what you wish for when you have a spiritual awakening, because you'll get it. Yeah. Hi, Heart. How you doing? That's a lovely name. I actually have a symbol called Heart that I use. Oh, anyway, see, I digress. So all of these terms are a way of referring to the inner expansion of your mind, your heart, or your soul, and your spirit, obviously. So the spiritual awakening is reaching new heights and transcending old limiting beliefs, habits, mindsets, and ways of being. So it's not all angels, unicorns, and roses, I'm afraid, as a lot of people think. Some people have a great time with the spiritual awakening. Some people have a really bad time with spiritual awakening. It can often be accompanied by the dark night of the soul. And if anybody wants to know more about the dark night of the soul, I think there's some lives on my page that you'll be able to see. And if anybody, as I say, is interested in this, I have so many information on my page that what to do is just send me a friend request, and you're able to watch it and what have you. So what types? So as we were speaking to Cheryl earlier, as I was saying, Emma, I was saying to you, there is different types of spiritual awakening. So the different types can be a slightly different variation, yeah, of the different interpretations. And sometimes you're parts of some interpretations. Sometimes you're just the one. Sometimes you can be two or three. You know. You're going to check my page out. That's really nice, Leanne. Thank you. So, so you've got the awakening of the mind. Now, I've had this one. I've really, really had this one. I love that one. This type of awakening comes when you experience a major epiphany, yeah, or a sudden mental realization, and it's a deep understanding that doesn't necessarily translate to the experience. But it does feel like there's an astonishing flash of enlightenment, perspectiveness, you know, that you just understand. You just understand life. And this happened to me a couple of years ago, quite a few number of years ago, actually, where I have a meditation stone that I go to on the edge of a rock looking out to the sea. And all around me is just the sea, and I look out and I just contemplate, meditate on this. It's just my meditation stone. And basically, I was having a hard time at the time, if I remember rightly. And I kind of sat down my and it was my place to go to, because I work hard. I was a kind of a workaholic, as you see. And I'm sitting down in the meditation stone, and I kind of went in like a trance-like state before I knew hypnotherapy like I know now, or anything that I know now. But I'd actually went in this trance-like state, and it was basically as if the enlightened moment was like the water was like it was going in a cycle of life, and the water was coming up the rocks, obviously, but it was like the water was just going round and round, and it was the most bizarre experience that I've, but it was a good experience, but very bizarre, and what it was telling me was that was what life was like. It was a cycle, you know, that you just go round, and you just get deeper deeper and deeper into the inner mind, you know. And what was why I was having a hard time was I was having a hard time because I kept myself stuck, you know, to the bondage and the traps of my life. I was too scared to let go, you know. I was really holding on for grim death, and it was making me miserable, you know. And I needed to release those chains and let myself fly, so to speak. Yeah. So when I got off the meditation stone, this immense love just filled me, and this epiphany just was like, my God, it's as easy as that. It's just let it flow, you know, just let it flow, the cycle. And when I did this, and when I looked around me, and it's full of just countryside, and as I say, the water as well, cliffs, and it's a beautiful, beautiful location where I stay. And what I realised when I turned round, and I was just so in awe at this realisation that the water was bluer, the sky was bluer, the rocks were browner. It was just, everything was just more colourful. It was, so when you see those spiritual programs and they've got the colours, and the colours are just brighter, more intense, that's actually what happens. It does happen like that. The Time of the Sixth Sun talks about the fruit of the rose, the deep seed of me. Yeah, I watched that, the Sixth Sun. It was very interesting. Memory and some are linked together. Yep, completely. Yeah. Hi, Helen. Hi, Susie. How you doing? And Denise. How you doing, lovelies? So that is that's what you call very vivid, Leanne. Very, very vivid. Yeah. And it's when something just clicks, when you've got that synchronicity, and it just falls into place, you know. That's what's called a mental awakening. And often those realizations stay with you. They don't leave. They motivate you. They inspire you, you know, to put changes in your life. Because my life completely changed after that. Yeah, in a good way, you know. And then you've got the awakening of the self, the awakening of a new personality, the awakening of the true self, yeah? And that is when the mental awakenings are consistent and go deep enough over a period of time that can result in the development of a new personality, basically. This type of transformation and ascension involves cutting away and moving past old limiting beliefs, you know, toxic patterns that you hold on to, those development qualities such as self-acceptance, empowerment, and understanding, yeah? And while this type of awakening isn't as deep as, say, a soul awakening, it is nonetheless really vital for the spiritual path, you know? So how do you know when you've experienced one? Well, think back to the kind of person you were, say 1 to 3 years ago. So are you still pretty much the same person? Or have you made some major life enhancing positive shifts? Or if you think you've changed in a good way, you've likely experienced a personality awakening. Because this type of awakening is caused when you've been previously repressed, ignored, or you've shunned parts of yourself, of your personality, that have been integrated to create a wholeness. Hi, Cindy. Good afternoon, darling. Lovely to see you again. We're talking about spiritual awakening today. Hi, Tamara. And so that's another one. That's the awakening of the true, what I call the true self, the new personality. And then you have we've got some more. Wait now, Debbie. I found myself and reawakened my spiritual afterlife. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah, totally, Debbie. It sounds beautiful. Mine was slightly scary. I had a shared angel Reiki session at Blasphemy, but I had no clue what happened. I attracted very dark angels and learned what had happened and learned the ground and clothes. Now they don't bother me at all. Yes, that can happen, Emma. If you don't know what you're dealing with, especially when you've never been open before. Hi, Lizzie. How you doing, darling? So another type of spiritual awakening is your energy, awakening the energy, yeah? So that can be the energy within the body and your energy field. So, and this is called your prana, your kundalini, yeah? And it sometimes can be awakened through major changes can occur in the physical plane, yeah, through the spiritual levels. And ancient practices such as Tai Chi, yoga, meditation, Tantra, that helps to awaken the energy. But I have to say, really be careful with the Kundalini, really. Only go to someone who really knows what they're doing with the Kundalini, because it can go the other way. So just be watch who you're practicing Kundalini with. If anybody says to me they're going to do Kundalini yoga or something like that, I always ask them, make sure that they know exactly what they're doing, yeah, because it can be detrimental to yourself. Okay, Ellen, sending just a little love to you. Everyone needs it. You too, Anne, and for everyone who needs it. Thank you, Ellen. You're off again. Oh, one day you'll see these lives in full, Ellen. And yeah, totally. Right back at you, my dear. So you left a depression, suicidal person by, and I'm free to choose my emotion, and I'm a lot more lit. Yes, Herth, you totally will be, darling. You totally will be. So you've got these ancient practices, but as I say, be really aware with the Kundalini. And this sudden activation is obviously called as Kundalini activation, which enters the souls in a total awakening. Now, when I first started on my spiritual path many, many, many years ago, I actually had a Kundalini awakening. And it was as if there was what can only be described like, and it'll sound weird as anything, like an anaconda coming up, opening all my centers. Yeah, that's what it was like. And it was just like a boom, poof. The whole of the energy system just totally opened up, yeah. And it's real. It's really real. You know, if it's done right, it's amazing. If it's not, it can be a bit extreme. You know, it can be really overwhelming and often too much to bear if it's not done right. So it can be mild to extreme, really. Yeah. So the common signs of awakening the spiritual energy involves feelings of enhanced vitality and energy on a physical level, energy rushes, tingling, electrical feelings throughout the body, that vibrational shift. You know, I always say to some of my clients, I had a client today and it was the vibrational shift she had, and it's like a zzzz, all of you, that's the only way I describe it. They all laugh at me. They thought it was a hot flash years ago, and now I know differently. Yes, Leanne, can be like that also, yeah. And common signs is really that you can have feelings throughout your body, you can have changes in your sexual libido, you can have sharpened awareness and feeling of that interconnectedness, as if you're all one, yeah. However, the negative symptoms can also rise with mood swings, mania, physical hypersensitivity, insomnia is a big one, seizures, loss of appetite, overeating, extreme and scary altered states of consciousness. That's just to name a few. So that's how I always say to people when they say they're going to do Kundalini or anything like that, just make sure you're with the right person. Yeah, they know what they're doing. Okay, Sherry, so my life and the way I look has changed so much. It's beautiful. Oh, that's really nice to hear, Sherry. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing, darling? Wow, I really didn't know there was any. Yes, there really is, Liana. Yeah. Debbie, think I reawakened after I reached rock bottom. I had to claw my way back. My two spirit guys sat with me for days. Once I started recovering from the panic attacks, I began to feel the vibrations brought back to. Yes, Debbie. Yep, totally. And usually sometimes you have to, not all the time I have to say, because it didn't happen to me that I had rock bottom, but I wasn't in a good place, I have to say. But sometimes you've got to go right to the bottom before you can come back up and then have that awakening. Yeah, sometimes it does happen that way. Hello, Stephen. How are you doing, darling? Insomnia and overeating sound familiar. Yeah. Hi, Heather. So then we've got hi, Loretta. How are you doing, darling? So then we've got awakening of the soul. Yeah. Now, these soul's awakenings can be brief and they can be sudden, you know, or they can be long and drawn out. They really can. Now, brief soul awakenings are often referred to in Zen Buddhism as the Satori. Yeah? Has anybody ever heard Satori? Have you ever heard of the Satori? Give me a thumbs up or some love where the Satori is, yeah? Which is experience of seeing into one's true eternal nature. Seeing into your soul. Yeah, what is? Hi, Pravina, how you doing, darling? Good evening to you too. And this glimpse of enlightenment is often short and doesn't last very long. 1 moment to a few days. Now, I've actually, I used to meditate when I first started meditating many years ago, and I used to meditate for hours. I was a workaholic. I didn't sleep, and I just was everything about my life really has completely changed now. But I used to meditate to calm me down. I broke my foot and I had to do something to bring my system down. And I started meditation. And I used to meditate during the night for hours on end. Absolutely hours on end. And so basically, what actually happened was in one of these, quite a few of these meditations actually, all I can describe it was I've never experienced that feeling of enlightenment, as if you're touching the hand of God, is all I can explain it by. It's like an immense feeling of unconditional love. It's very short. As soon as you think about it, it's gone. As soon as you think about it, it's gone, you know? But it was absolutely intense. It was so intense, okay? And on the other hand, the long-term soul's awakenings are experiences of deepening of contact with your own soul. Yeah, this can involve consistently with your soul purpose, uniting with that soul purpose. Leanne, hear the tone. Yes, yeah, totally, yeah. And with your spirit guides, with your higher self, so your understanding begin to experience your oneness. You know, your eternal and is limitless and is all a connection. Because I work a lot with my spirit guides and my higher self, so and I'm now living my soul purpose, so I feel totally aligned now and love, absolutely love what I do, absolutely love it. And yet I had a lot of fear of showing up for that love because it was too woo-woo in a lot of people's eyes, you know. Now I just don't bother now. It's something I just love doing. So how do you know if you've experienced one? You know, have you ever had a moment in your life where you felt you were divided with yourself in the world? Yeah, when you just didn't feel you connected, or should I say, when you felt you connected, or have you ever shifted from that ego perspectiveness to that universal perspectiveness? Yeah, or have you ever experienced any moments where you felt deeply aligned with your soul purpose? Now that's a big one. Yeah, and these are all signs of soul awakening. Yeah, totally. Hi Faith, lovely to see you, darling. So all of the above. Yeah, totally, Liana. So so developing qualities such as compassion, tolerance, forgiveness, and that unconditional love also accompany soul awakenings too. Yeah, and then you've got your total excuse me, your total awakening, enlightenment. Leanne says, wish it would remain consistent. Yeah, I would agree with you there, but it doesn't, I'm afraid. Oh, wow, I remember the day that happened, Debbie said, at the beach one night, watching the sun set alone, watched the sea. I felt an overwhelming warmth, even though it was cold. It was like someone poured warm water inside me, hot water. Yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. As if you get gold poured inside yourself is how I would describe it. So enlightenment, where all Buddhas, everybody spiritual wants to go, is enlightenment. Yeah. Or total ego death. Yeah. It's a rare existence in which the self dissolves and all that remains is you. Yeah. You with consciousness. That's all it is. And this state is a lot of people call it oneness, Buddhahood, illumination, and obviously enlightenment, you know. It's an intense state of being, can arrive spontaneously or through years of spiritual study and discipline. And as I said, that our orb just went up there. Did you see that? Give me some love for the orbs. If you've seen the orb, yeah. So, and total awakening is a gift of grace. It really is a gift of grace. It's something that we can achieve in a normal sense of the world. Yeah, I've got some love there. Good that you've seen the orb there. Yeah. So when enlightenment occurs, there's an experience of being nothing and everything all at once. Do you understand? I was staring out the window, laughing out loud, Leanne. Well, as I said, you've got to watch out for the orbs. You'll find it. You'll get it. Don't worry about it. So when lightning occurs, there's really, it's like a mystical awakening, you know? It's as if the state transcends thoughts and mind as one, yeah? And the ego is finally seen and understood and overcome. And all that remains is a pure awareness, presence, love, and truth. And all you can see is your spiritual awakening. It comes in many different shapes and sizes. It really does. And Faith, hi, lovely, hi, Faith. That was the day I knew I survived, Debbie. Yeah, completely, Debbie. Yeah, but that was you probably the death of some of your ego. To be honest, you were probably living a life that wasn't your sole purpose. Hence why you went to the depths of what you went to. Because when you do go to those depths, it's because you're not living to your sole purpose, or you have there's a dark energy around you and you need it removed. With that as well, yeah. It can be a lot of things. Just had thought of making funeral arrangements for my ego. Yes, Liana, love it. And by the way, the ego is good. People think that the ego is bad. Ego is good. We all need the ego. And there's another orb that's just said, yes, she's right. Okay. So do you have a spirit? Do you have a spirit over your left shoulder? A lot of people ask me that, Debbie. Probably, if you see it, probably there. Yeah. So, how to help yourself become more spiritually awakened? Does anybody know? Does anybody know how to become more spiritually awakened? Whoa, I have an ego perch on my left. I have my ego perch on my left. Whoa. I take it you've seen that time, Liana. Yeah? Shoulder. Yes. Okay. So anybody know how to help yourself to become spiritually awakened or more spiritually awakened? Would love to know, Emma. Yeah. Hello, Avril. She made it. You come with the good bit, Avril. How to become more spiritually awakened. Okay. So let's do this then. So one of the steps is to, because I've got a few, move into your full awareness. Grateful. Yes, that can be it. Move into your full awareness of your real self. Gratitude, Liana. Yes, totally. Because the fact is, you're already perfect. The only problem is we don't recognize it. Yeah? And for this reason, I want to discuss some very simple but transformative spiritual practices and disciplines that will help you to gradually move into that full awareness of your true self. Because you are perfect how you are. You are enough. You are love. We just don't believe it. Yeah? So meditation, Tina, yeah, totally. Let me see what we've got here. I think I put a block on it for now while I'm learning. Possible. Hello, you have told me, can't remember. No, but like Avril, I wish I could open my channels to believe more of what I see. It takes time, Debbie. Takes time. They'll only show you what you're ready to see. Remember that. Sharing meditation study, hoping it's easy. I like that, but hoping it's easy. It can be because the more you fight it, the worse it becomes. Yeah. Whereas if you just let go, remember I said about the water with the motion and just letting it flow. When you let it flow, that's when it becomes beautiful. Yeah. So, and be aware of your true self, you know, be aware of that loving soul spirit that's in there, yeah? Tame the mind. It's another step. Tame that mind, you know, because it's like a wild animal. And I mean, I've did a meditation course, a 6-week meditation course a wee while back. It's on my academy platform. And the thing that people found was they found it difficult to tame the mind. Now, in meditation, your mind, the monkey mind, will always be there. Always be there. It's just knowing how to bring it back. How to, and usually you bring it back with the breath and not judge it. Yeah? So, and not sabotage, you know, because we do tend to sabotage over and over, you know, if we can't tame it the first time. Ride the current sea like sea turtles. That's a good one, Leanne. I like that one. Gratitude, yes. Hello, Christine. How are you doing, my darling? You've come at the right time. Debbie, I seem to see more animals and have sensations of people. My learning has been slow also. It can be slow, darling. As I say, they'll only show you what you need to be seen when at the right time. I mean, when I first started my spiritual path, I ran away from it. I kept running away from it because it was just too intense. Yeah, is what I could say. Now I'm like the warrior. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. So and always have when you are doing something like that, always come from an open heart. Yeah, come from that open that heart, because I always think that's your first brain, is your heart, not up here. I think your first brain's here. I found that when I want so bad, the harder it is to flow in. Yep, completely. Another way is make your unconscious conscious. I'll say that again. Make your unconscious conscious, because many of the thoughts that sabotage us is buried deep in the unconscious mind. Yeah, meaning that we're not even aware that those thoughts exist. Yeah, the only way to eliminate those self-sabotaging thoughts is to bring them to the forefront of your conscious mind and surrender them. Don't judge them. Just say, okay, I'm aware of that now. I can let that go. It's as easy as that. Hearth, yeah, you can. No problem, darling. Debbie, you ran too. Yeah, we do, because we have a fear. You know, I had a client today who I was doing a soul retrieval for, and I actually had 2 clients today doing a soul retrieval, and one of them was absolutely petrified, and she had the most powerful soul retrieval that I've done in a long time. You know, and I just I laugh. You know, I'm a joker, as a lot of you know in here. I like to have a wee joke and a wee bit of fun with it. Yeah. And it also lightens the load a wee bit as well. Yeah, but it's very powerful. So where was I? So surrender that that unconscious mind, you know. Don't judge. And the easiest way to do that, I've found, is to do a daily journaling practice. And what I mean by that is spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, first thing in the morning or last thing at night, and just write what comes. Don't judge it, don't stop it, just let it flow. Just because all those unconscious thoughts will tend to surface, yeah? And some of them may be very disturbing. Don't judge them. Just simply write them down, you know, and put them onto paper. That's where you can see them and what they are, and only thoughts with no real meaning except the meaning you give them. So remember, it's only words, yeah? And what I also do as well is, there's a couple of ways. You can actually leave it, or you can just take it a step further and burn it. Yeah? And I used to burn it, I would go into my ensuite and just burn it and put it down the toilet. Just always put it into water. Yeah? Water or the earth is where you put it. So it's getting transformed. Okay? What we got here? I had my hand read as a teen by a Romany gypsy, an old man. He told me the gift. He was shocked how strong it was in me, but I always ran from the gift I was given, learning to listen to that gut instinct, trusting. Yeah, Debbie, completely relate, darling, because I used to run like you've no idea. Everybody used to laugh at the fear I had. It didn't matter how powerful it was. and how powerful my therapy sessions were, because I only used to do my therapy sessions with people with referrals, you know. Now I put myself out there, obviously, and I love it, absolutely love it. I don't know why I used to run. When you actually step into it, it's so much more stronger. Yeah. Emma, I was told today it's not about why we are here or who we are, only about where we are. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah. So another way is commit only to thoughts of unconditional love. Here's the love, guys. Here we come. Because the mind's often a trap, remember, and the mind will think only negative. I have a gratitude and a prayer journal daily. Brilliant, Liana. Yeah, you'll find you'll get a lot of work from that. So, so you basically the unconditional love, as I say, is opening that heart center. Yeah, really open the heart center, purify your mind, and commit to thinking only the most kind and loving thoughts towards life, especially to yourself. Yeah, and that's the hardest one, because the things we say to ourselves, we would never say to a friend or anybody else. You would never say that to. You call yourself the most. I used to do it myself. Sometimes even still do it, but nowhere near like what I used to. The stuff that I used to call myself was horrendous. You know. So do have a commitment. You know. So if you are aware of those negative thoughts coming up, just say stop and change it completely to the opposite of what you're thinking. Because those hateful judgment thoughts will become more apparent when you commit to unconditional love, which is a good thing. Yeah? And remember, the unconscious thoughts must first become conscious before they can be surrendered. Yeah? Negative thoughts are a normal part of the human condition. Yeah? But they need not remain with us. Remember that. You don't need them. Yeah? And if you're spiritually committed, you'll purify your minds anyway. But some people just find it hard. We know they're going to very high levels of spiritual awareness and inner peace. Yeah? Hi, Lance. Hi, Kaylee. Hi, Helen. Your heart center meditation is amazing. Yeah, I give that meditation to a lot of people. So if anybody wants that meditation, just write love in the comments and I'll give you it over for free. It's a beautiful meditation. It really gets you in your heart space. Even if you've been angry or you're worrying or anything like that, listen to this meditation. It'll put you right back into your gratitude, right back in your heart. And I was downloaded with that meditation. It was beautiful. Hard is how I'm built. Yes, totally, Liana. Same as me. And where are we? Yes, love. That's what I find easier than anything else. I forgive myself for the things I used to say about myself. Now I laugh at those thoughts. I'm worthy. A lot came from the negativity around me. Yep, and it's amazing. Yeah, it is amazing, Anne, isn't it? Yeah. So meditate daily. I do meditation. I try to do meditations daily, which is usually about an hour, first thing in the morning, because I'm up really early in the morning. Sometimes I'll go a wee bit longer, but I have a meditation practice where I basically bless my energy centers, yeah, and really go into my energy centers and just, if I feel I need to look at my shadow self, I'll look at my shadow self through that, and I'll embrace that. Or if I want to look at the positive, loving side of my energy centers, I'll look at that also. Yeah. If I want to manifest, I'll think of the manifestations. So many things that I do in that thing. Yeah, I can see a lot of love, guys. Give me a wee bit more love. So, and it's very simple. There's really nothing to do but sit alone in a quiet place and remain aware of what's happening around you. Even using guided meditations. You stopped when I saw your sons act on the negative thoughts they had. Thoughts have power in projecting them. My children have saved me. Yeah, completely, Liana. Yeah, completely. So meditation's a very good one. Very good for quieting the mind. And remember, you already are spirit. Remember that. You are soul. So you don't have to search for it anywhere but within. Remember, you just look inside. We all go and want this, that, and the next thing. When all of a sudden it's not making us happy, chasing that relationship, chasing that addiction, chasing that material possession, chasing that love, when all of the time is really inside you, you know. And once you find that inside you, that's when you become free. That's when your spirit doesn't need the ego, yeah. And it's because, and if you don't feel free, it's because you're still dominated by the ego. 3D being living and 5D experience. Yeah. I'm actually doing a course that's will be going up to the 5th dimension and the 9th dimension for manifestation, and so much more we'll be doing on that course also. If you want to know about it, I think I put the link up above, and yeah, I have. And if you want to know any more about that, just write transform, and I'll speak to you and give you the link, and you can jump on a free call and we can discuss it, because you need to have you need to be the right energy for the course, yeah. But it's an amazing course, and I see an orb there, as I said. That's how good it is. So remember, you are perfect, you are whole, you are complete, and you are loved. And soon you'll find that your love is deep within. Yeah, it's within you. So the words for me aren't really necessary, because you already know where to look to find your happiness. You are enough, just the way you are. You really are. But if you don't feel enough, what do you do? What do you do to grow? Yeah, you grow your inner strength. Totally, I was so addicted to food. Your hypnotherapy and meditations are so powerful. Thanks, Anne. That's what a lovely thing to say. Surely I love me. Love it. Yeah, Leanne, I'll get back to you. Where God is within. Yeah, completely, Anne. So, what is inner strength? You know, having inner strength allows you to pursue your dreams, goals, and live your life to the fullest. I've certainly got a lot of spiritual inner strength. But it's taken me a lot of years to get that, yeah. And a person with inner strength loves themselves, feels deeply their value, the lovableness, and loves their mind, their body, and the spirit. They can bend with change and embrace it, yeah. That was a big one for me, because I'm a Taurine, so change for me can sometimes be a bit, a bit restrictive, whereas I'm nowhere near as bad now. You can say no, yeah. So when you've got a spiritual strength, you say no, yeah, when it feels right, without regretting it, without feeling guilty about it. You know who you are, and what you like and what you don't like, you know, and how you feel. And you can ask for help when you need it also. And you're open to learning, and you're curious. You're curious of what's going on. And the 5 things to build your self-confidence, especially in your spirituality, is know what you feel. That's essential to knowing, loving yourself and having a strong core. Is pay attention to the area below your head, because the information about how you feel is in your body. So what sensations are in your chest or your belly? You know, do you feel a tense or jittery, nauseous feeling? What sensation do you feel within your body? Yeah? Let's try a wee exercise, actually. And we're talking about loving the self, right? So we're talking about loving the self. So we're going to do a wee exercise. I want you to, if you aren't driving, that is, or operating machinery, I want you to take a nice big deep breath and just relax. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine you can feel the space around your heart center. And what I want you to do is I want you now to imagine you as a mini you. You know, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and you had that wee tiny miniature them that went down in the bloodstream. I want you to imagine there's a mini you, and you're actually going into your heart center. And I want you to see what is in your heart center. Because sometimes it can be a bit grey and drab, or a bit bleak, or dark, or what have you. And if it's like that, I want you to brighten it up. Even imagine as if you're putting a light in there, a crystal light. And if it's bright, make it brighter. Yeah? Feel that love within you. And I want you to make that light even brighter still. And now what I want you to do is I want you to bring in your favourite colour, a colour that you absolutely love. And I want you to spread that into this very centre. So basically what I want Liana's saying, repeat. So basically, if you're going into your heart, and you feel as if it's dark in there, or it's a bit bleak, or you feel as if that you're, you know, it's been lightened up in there. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine that you have a light in your hand, or a crystal. Okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that that crystal, that light, is making that heart space even brighter and brighter. As if you're turning a dial and you're turning it right up, and you're bringing in your favourite colour, and you're making that colour look intense. Brightening that colour up even more. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that when that lightness is going into that heart space, you start to feel the most incredible feeling of unconditional love to yourself. Spreading right through the core of you, going right up to the top of your head, going right down to the bottom of your feet, to the tips of your toes, and out your energy field. So you can see that beautiful heart, that unconditional love of your spirit, your soul, that's in there. Completely. Yeah. Warmth, love, and light, Shirley says. Completely. And just breathe that in. Right into your soul, right into your core. And just feel that an amazing feeling of unconditional love. And when you're ready, just open your eyes and come back. And tell me how you feel. Do you feel better? Do you feel the same? Now that was only a couple of minutes. You can really get into that. And the love and meditation, whoever put up the love, I'll pin the post up. In fact, I'll do that now actually. And you can actually get this love meditation. Loving kindness is called, I'm sure. It's a beautiful meditation and it really gets you in your heart. Clear, you feel clear? Yep, that's what happens. So show the love, guys, show the love. Let me just see. And let me see where we have this. So I can, and what will probably happen, you just put your email in here, guys, to get this, and you won't be spammed or anything like that. But what you will get is you will get there's people commenting. I can't see who's commenting. What you'll do is you'll get quite a few actual meditations. I think there's one about protecting yourself. Obviously, there's one about the love, And there's also one about how to manifest money. Also, win-win, I say. Let me just find it. Where have I got it? And I think there's one on it with automatic writing as well.